Oh my god, we're back.
Both of us.
Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney.
I am Jacalyn.
And you're back.
I'm freaking back.
Oh my goodness.
I've been gone for a long, long time.
What is it? Like, just over 6 months now?
Yeah, because the last episode I recorded was in June, I think.
I don't even remember at this point.
Well, because I went camping at the end of June.
Oh, that's
through
right.
the 4th of July, and then I stayed a couple more days, and then I went to treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mental health got really, really bad. I don't really know how much I want to discuss, or, I mean, if anybody has questions, I can answer them. I think it's important to talk about.
Yeah.
Because...
Especially, I mean, yesterday was Bell Let's Talk Day.
Yes, it was.
So it's kind of good timing.
Yeah. Well, I went to the hospital first, and I stayed there for just over a week. And then I went to a treatment center where I stayed until the beginning of January.
This month.
Yeah.
Now we are in 2021 somehow.
Yeah. How?
I don't know.
But, yeah, I'm back.
You're back.
I am back.
I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back too.
I'm sure everybody else is glad you're back also,
That
because
would be cool.
they've just had to listen to me drone on and on. It definitely was not as exciting.
It's not the same. It's
just
not. Like, you do a wonderful freaking job. And you have kept up with this amazingly. And you just keep getting better and better. And I'm so excited to be back and part of it again.
Yes, I'm very happy to have you back. It feels much more normal now.
Yeah, I haven't sat on this couch for like 6 months, man.
I know. And this will be the last episode where we're sitting on this couch.
Right, because we're making the studio.
Finally, we've only been talking about it forever.
But it's going to be so freaking cool. Like,
yes.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And our quality is going to go up.
Because we have new mics.
New mics, new chairs,
new everything.
New everything. It's
new
amazing.
Paint.
New paint, yeah. Are we going to be video recording our podcast?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you might be able to watch us talk to each other.
Wow.
If that's something you want to do, because we're very exciting.
Super exciting. Don't know what to do with ourselves.
I know. It's wild. So that's something to look forward to. That'll be the next episode.
Yeah, dude.
Because I just have to hang up some acoustic foam, and I haven't done that yet. I have it.
We can do that after this.
Yes, we will.
All right.
Because it's currently on the floor. Because I had to bathe it last night.
It's so weird. You had to bathe foam.
Yep. I was having a totally normal one last night. Just turned on my bathtub faucet and stuck my foam in there.
Stuck your foam.
It was an experience for sure, but it helped because it comes super shrink wrapped. And so they say, like, open it up, let it sit for 24 to 48 hours, and if it doesn't get to its proper shape or fully bloom, I suppose,
right,
then they suggest to soak it in water.
Bathe that shit.
Yeah, so I did, and it worked.
Yeah, okay.
So, hey.
There you go.
I will take looking silly as long as it works. That's all that really matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
We can get that hung up, get rid of that echo that's in there, and then off to the races.
Hell yeah.
So many new things.
So exciting.
Yes, and then we have to decorate, which has somehow become the hardest part of all of this.
Yeah, but I'm kind of excited to, like, dig through all of my merch and, like, everything I've purchased.
Yeah.
And, like, be able to hang out on the wall behind us.
I think the problem is we just have so much of it.
So much.
So it's not like we have one or two things to just, like, place. We have to go through it and be like, all right, what do we want to provide us?
What's appropriate?
Yeah.
What's gonna look the best?
Yeah. It's fun, though. It'll be exciting. And with the way the schedule is laid out this season, the Blackhawks are playing, like, series against teams.
Yeah.
Most of them are 2-game series. There's a 4-gamer. I want to say it's against Tampa Bay.
In a row?
Yeah.
Damn.
In March, maybe, or February. Something like that. And I think it's Tampa. I think it's 4 games. I don't know. I should have looked it up before this. And then there's a random 1 game. But our plan going into the rest of this season is to do a podcast before every series so that we can preview that, talk about the last one, and all that. It's kind of nice having the schedule set up like this so we can have some sort of structure like that.
Structure is always good.
It is.
That's something that was huge when I was in treatment. Like, yeah, because if you don't have like a set structure of what you're supposed to do, you just kind of feel lost.
Yeah, it's hard to get into a routine or a habit, or you forget to do things. Yeah, so it was nice, like, having that routine enforced. Like you have to follow this schedule. And that's been one of the hardest parts of being out of treatment, is not having that structure. Well, now you have some sort of structure, because we're doing a podcast before every series.
I'm so freaking excited! Yes! But
it's nice to have something.
Yeah.
I've experienced that just with how the season has been so far, because I do the videos before every game.
Right.
Sometimes I record them right after the game ends. Sometimes I do it the next day. So it's kind of not totally structured, but I have to get it done before the next game.
Yeah.
And then the preview article before the next game. So...
yeah, you've been putting in work. You have made this podcast amazing by yourself. Like... I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of this.
Yes. I've kept it going. I wouldn't say the podcast hasn't thrived. Maybe the other aspects of From Center Ice. But now that you're back, the podcast is a lot better.
I mean...
I felt like I was just droning on when I was sitting here with the microphone, just talking to myself. I
can imagine that would be hard. Yeah. That would be real difficult.
Yeah. Like when I'm recording the video, I have the monitor in front of me so I see myself. So it's kind of like talking to another person.
But that's, how do I want to put it? It's comforting.
Yeah.
Just to be able to see yourself.
Yeah.
And like how you look and what you're doing.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm used to it. Some people really don't like seeing themselves, but I'm used to it, so that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just excited. January it's been good for From Center Ice so far.
From Center Ice, yeah.
Especially the YouTube channel. We've picked up, I should have looked at the numbers before this. Over 10 subscribers.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
After being basically gone for 2 months and not posting anything and then coming back and posting regularly, I will take that. Yeah, that is good.
For sure.
That is good growth for less than a month since 100%. The season started on the 13th.
Yeah.
And that's really when I started posting regularly. And we've seen the numbers go up consistently across the platforms. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so January's been exciting, and now we can work on growing the podcast again, especially, like, last year just like killed everything because we had COVID, and so then we had to go to recording remotely.
Yeah.
And
that was terrible.
Yeah, because
Skype is not
the audio
best.
Just wasn't good, and then it would freeze, so then there's random...
and then there's parts missing for some reason. It was very frustrating.
It's no good, and now both of us just get to be at home so we can record together because we don't have to worry about exposure from other people and stuff like that. So the rest of this season is going to be much improved from whatever the hell 2020 threw at us. And I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I miss the IceHogs.
I friggin' miss the IceHogs too.
I miss them so much.
But they're almost back. Almost back.
We can't
February
go to the games.
5th. They did have an exhibition game.
Yeah, against Chicago, right?
Yep, 2 days ago now. Yeah, it's the 29th. That was on the 27th, and that was bad. What did they lose? 6-1?
It was, 6-1.
Whew. Not ideal.
But it also wasn't, who was it, Tompkins?
The goaltenders for the exhibition game were Scott Darling, because that's a thing.
That is a thing.
We'll get to that. And what's his name? Cale Morris?
Yeah, that's the one.
Cale Morris out of Notre Dame. Not Notre Dame. And it was his first pro game, quote unquote. It was an exhibition game. So he faced a lot of shots. I think he saved 20 of 25, I want to say.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he let in 5.
Yeah, so for his first pro experience and coming into a brand new team, a brand new, very young team, I mean, it's whatever. That's not what the whole season is going to look like, so we don't have to worry about that. I am curious to see how the goalie competition is going to play out.
Right.
So I believe Tompkins and Aubryn were both on either COVID protocol or just unfit to participate in the
what I saw was unfit.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Especially now, like in the NHL, they say that a player is on the COVID protocol list. I don't know if they're doing the same in the AHL or if they're just going back to the unfit to participate like we saw during the playoffs for the NHL. I don't really know what they're doing. So I'm sure we'll have some sort of idea who our goaltenders are going to be going into that first game on February 5th. Oh my gosh. It's coming up so quickly.
Yeah,
but it still feels so far away.
February is like 2 days away.
Oh, that means my birthday month is 2 days away.
Sure is.
That's interesting.
Gonna be an old lady.
I know, a very old 28. I feel every day of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I turned 28 in treatment.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Did you get to celebrate?
Yeah, they brought a cake from the dining hall.
Oh, that's nice.
It was really good.
That's awesome.
And everybody was super nice. I mean, they decorated for me. They put up a bunch of hockey like
decorations.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I felt the love.
Good. Since you had to battle everybody for TV access while the playoffs
were. Oh my god, yes, the playoffs were happening, and there are 2 rooms with TVs in them. And I had to fight tooth and nail to gain access because everybody else was just watching bullshit. And I was like, but it's the playoffs!
Right, like, y'all can watch your movies later.
Please, please.
This is important.
So, most of the games I got to watch.
I was glad you were able to have phone access, too, while you were in there. So we talked on the phone for a lot of the games that you got to watch. We watched a couple of Blackhawks games all the way through. Others we watched a period or 2, but that was nice.
Yeah.
So, but now you can watch the TV whenever you want to.
Yes.
You just have to find a way to watch the games because the NHL makes it fucking impossible for fans to watch games.
I don't understand that with them not, like, people can't go to the games.
Yeah.
And now people can't watch the games? Like, what's the point?
The blackouts are absolutely ridiculous. And I feel like they've gotten even worse this season.
They have. Every time I try to watch something, it's like, this area is blacked out.
Yeah.
Like,
I was the last podcast episode with Fink. I feel like it was. I don't think I made one after that. But we were talking about the blackouts, and I had mentioned how I'd never had problems watching St. Louis games before, and now all of a sudden on NHL TV, they're blacked out for me.
I don't get it.
So,
what do you have to do to be able to watch?
You just can't, unless you totally legally stream them, or use a VPN.
There's no way you can, like, pay to...
No.
What the fuck?
I know.
Like, what is the point of playing the sport if you won't let people watch it?
Yep.
That it hurts my chest thinking about it. Like,
I know. And
bruh,
NBC Sports Network is dying at the end of 2021.
I saw that.
So a lot of games are moving to USA. Because why not?
Right.
Unless they get another TV deal before then, I guess, which is possible. But I don't know. The NHL, they say they want to grow the sport. And they don't do anything to do that.
No.
They alienate everybody. They alienate existing fans because you can't watch the fucking games.
It hurts my soul, dude. Like,
yeah.
I love hockey. I want to watch the hockey. Let me watch the hockey.
Let me support you. Why do you make this so hard? I don't understand. Even the AHL is doing better than the NHL is. Because we're both season ticket holders for the IceHogs. They're giving us free access to AHL TV to watch all home and away games for the IceHogs.
Yep, which I am so grateful for.
Yeah, me too. So if they're not blacked out on AHL TV, why does the NHL have blackouts? And I know a lot of that has to do with their cable contracts, but people can't go to games. That shouldn't count in 2020 and 2021.
Absolutely not.
We don't all live in Arizona or Florida or Dallas where they're allowing some fans in, which is fucked up in and of itself. Yeah. Especially Dallas, who had to cancel postpone their first 2 games because 17 people had fucking COVID.
Ooh.
And they're allowing fans? Are you kidding me?
I don't get it.
Yeah. But meanwhile, the rest of us just can't watch our teams play because why the fuck would the NHL want their fans to watch?
Joke.
Yeah. I'm glad I have cable so I can watch the Blackhawks games, but I know way too many people who either don't have the expanded sports package or don't have cable and can't afford to pay for, Hulu Live, YouTube TV. There's another one. Is it AT&T? I don't know.
Possibly.
There's only a couple of streaming services that have it. Sling TV said they did, and then all of a sudden they didn't.
Yeah.
So, it's so messed up, man. It's so messed up. I don't understand. Whatever they do with this next TV contract, they need to really address this blackout issue.
Yeah, dude. Let people watch the fucking games.
Yeah. Did you not learn from the Blackhawks when they didn't let people watch the games? People didn't go to the fucking games because they didn't know if they liked the sport or the team. You should have learned from Dollar Bill, but you didn't. And now you're doing it again on a nationwide scale.
Yeah.
And it's only going to go poorly for you. You are still one of the lower ranked sports in the United States. Let people watch the games.
Please. I am begging.
Put some of these games on primetime. And you have a Friday night. This is 2 weeks in a row. A Friday night. 1 fucking game on. What is that? And last night there was 7 or 8.
Yeah, there were 7.
Yeah.
Bro.
What is that? There's 1 game on a Friday night when people can't leave their houses?
It hurts my head.
I mean, I guess even if people were home, they wouldn't be able to watch the fucking game anyway, but... NHL. My dudes, because I know you're all dudes, you need to do better. You need to do better. But they won't. Because you know what? NBC Sports Network hired fucking Mike Babcock, and I'm still pissed off about it, and I will rant about it every time I have to watch a fucking Blackhawks game on NBC and I see his fucking face on the panel.
What does he do?
He's an analyst during the intermissions and pre- and post-game.
Oh, like a commentator?
Yeah. Like what Patrick Sharp was doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. And they keep calling him coach, and they let him go on a redemption tour and tell his side of the story and make himself look better and be like, oh, I didn't.
He fucking abused his players.
Yep. But they just keep praising him, and it drives me up a fucking wall. So if you've been following along on Twitter, you can tell when the Blackhawks are playing on NBC, because I tell NBC Sports to go fuck off every time, because Mike Babcock is always on the fucking broadcast.
Nobody wants to see his face.
No!
Not hear his voice.
Especially that one, because his voice drives me nuts. But I didn't see one single person happy about that hire after they made it. I don't know who NBC's PR person is, but they need to be fucking fired.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Clearly, they don't make the hiring decisions, but you have to go to your higher-ups and be like, we can't hire this guy. If you want me to do my job as a public relations person, you cannot hire Mike Babcock to be on this broadcast.
Yep.
After everything that happened, he didn't come out and say anything after those stories that broke at the beginning of last season. He didn't say a goddamn word. And then he gets to go be on national TV and try to make himself look better. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Fuck NBC. I'm glad NBC Sports Network is fucking dying.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Total bullshit.
Anywho, this is episode number 60.
Is it?
It is.
Wow, look at us go.
Yes.
You go. You kept it alive.
I didn't post very many while you weren't here. It's fitting that this is the one that you come back for, because guess whose number is 60 on the Blackhawks?
Who's that?
Collin Delia.
Hell yeah.
It's the Collin episode.
Ooh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know, just because it's number 60.
Fair. Okay, I'll take it.
So he's played 2 games so far for the Hawks. He's allowed 5 goals in each of them. Not his fault. One of them was very much his fault when he turned the puck over behind the net and just fell on his ass in the crease.
I saw that one.
That was a thing that happened.
That's frustrating.
Yeah. So going into this season, when people were discussing the goaltenders, once we knew that teams had to carry 3, it was assumed that 3 goaltenders were going to be the 3 that we have. So Collin Delia, Malcolm Subban, Kevin Lankinen, Matt Tompkins got sent back down, which we just knew was going to happen. He hasn't been in the organization as long.
Right.
So he retired.
Yes.
Yes, we don't talk about that. That'll be another episode in itself. This is the Collin episode.
Okay.
For no other reason that it's number 60. So going into this season, most people were sleeping on Kevin. Like, nobody was talking about him.
I mean, we were.
Yeah.
We always have.
Yes.
But like, in the national scale.
On the national scale, people that don't watch the IceHogs, I feel like even people who did watch the IceHogs, granted, Kevin did not have a very good year last year.
No.
He started very good.
Uh-huh.
And then him and Collin kind of switched places.
Yeah.
Because remember, Collin started very bad.
Yes.
And we all figure it was due to his girlfriend being pregnant. And yeah. So once Collin started heating up, Kevin's game just took a nosedive.
Oh, now I'm just thinking about how frustrating it was to watch Collin.
Yes.
He wasn't himself.
Yes.
Like, he could not focus. He could not move like he usually did. It was all wrong.
It was. He's kind of starting this season the same way.
God damn it.
And there's no excuses this time.
No, and that sucks because he has such potential.
Yeah.
He's so good when he tries.
Can you just try?
Please.
Yeah, but he's been losing his nut a lot. It's what I tell people is Collin Delia is 80% chaos.
Okay.
And when he is on his game, that chaos works in his favor.
Yes.
When he is not on his game,
it's very messy.
Just kind of wonder if he's ever played in goal before.
Yeah.
Because he does things like fall on his butt in the crease.
Dude, like, come on.
Yeah. But again, those games weren't on him because the Blackhawks started this season giving up 5 goals in 4 straight games.
Ouchie.
Not good.
Real
Malcolm
ouchie.
Subban played the first game of the season. He then played the first game against Nashville in this last series and had a much better game and looked very good. I'm sure Collin will get his chance to get back in the net and look better. But for now, the net is Kevin's, which is how I got on this topic.
Here we are.
I was like, how did I get off on this tangent? Circled back around.
Yeah.
So, coming into the season, people were sleeping on Kevin, weren't talking about him, except for us and some IceHogs fans. And everybody was saying, like, Collin's going to be the starter.
Uh-huh, that's what everybody assumed.
Because nobody likes Malcolm Subban. We can all guess why.
So angry.
Yeah. Like, no, he hasn't had the best career so far, but he's been behind 2 very good goaltenders. When he was in Vegas, he was behind Fleury. In Boston, he was behind Tuukka Rask. Like, he's gonna get the shit starts.
Yeah, definitely.
And from what we saw in that first game against Nashville, he has the potential to be a good goaltender. He's chaotic like Collin, but not as chaotic. He's somewhere in between Delia and Lankinen.
Yeah.
Because Kevin is very structured, going back to that word.
Definitely.
And not comparing skill level at all, only just kind of style. Kevin is more like Crawford, in that he relies on positioning, letting the puck hit him. He doesn't soak up every puck. He'll kick them out to the corners. Things like that. The other two, they play a bit more like Fleury or John Quick or throwing back to Tim Thomas, where you're just like, where are they going?
What is that? Get back there!
And somehow they make it work for themselves when they are on top of their game. Collin, even more so. You never know what he's doing. Subban has a little more structure to his game. I feel like with all three of them getting a full season to work with Jimmy Waite as the goaltending coach, they'll end up all being better by the end.
Yeah.
But the net currently is Kevin's to lose, and now all I'm seeing on Twitter and other sites where people talk about the Hawks is that he should be the starter. He is the guy going forward. And so I'm just sitting over here like, will people ever listen to me
No.
when I tell them about goaltenders?
No.
Will they ever listen to me?
Not.
I came out of last season, I want to say, being like, Kevin is a very good goaltender.
Of
If he
course.
gets a shot in the NHL, I'm sure he will be good. You go into this season, he's up against Malcolm Subban and Collin Delia, both unproven goaltenders. Nobody's fucking talking about him.
What a joke, dude.
Yeah.
It's so clear to see.
I just want to say that I told you so to everybody
To everyone.
who doubted him, because now he is starring in net, and the both of us knew it would happen. So we told you so. But I am definitely certain that once Collin is able to come back into the net and play some more games, that he will be better. He's not going to play like those first two games.
He tends to start not great.
Yeah.
But then he gets real good.
Yeah. He's kind of like Frederick Anderson in that way.
Okay.
Has very shitty starts to the season.
I can see that.
And then finds his game. Again, not skill-wise, not comparing skill levels, just trends in their games.
Right.
So I just want to see Collin get more starts. Maybe next time we play Detroit, those would be the best games for him to pick up.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah. And obviously Kevin won both of those games against Detroit. So, I don't know. Those would be the best ones for him to come back in, I think. But until then, it's going to be Lankinen and Subban, probably mostly Kevin playing. And I can't argue with that. You gotta ride the hot hand, and he's been damn
amazing.
good. Yeah. I'm impressed, even with how well he's been playing so far. Like, we knew he was good, and he would come in and be a very good goaltender for the Hawks, but he stepped up his game. I don't know what he did this offseason.
It worked for him, though.
Yeah. He looks a lot better. He looks a lot more poised in net. He's finding pucks in traffic. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see it. Like, good for him.
Yeah.
So with the IceHogs starting at the beginning of February, they kicked off training camp this week. They started on Monday, I want to say.
Did they?
Yeah. And I believe we only have 10 returning players from last season.
Wow.
It's a very different team.
Yeah.
And I was looking through some of the highlights and photos from last season, and I just remembered how much I loved that team.
Yes.
They weren't the greatest.
No.
They were trending upward when the season got canceled, although we knew that they were going into that hell gauntlet. Remember, the last month or month and a half of the season was going to be against Chicago, Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, I want to say, were all of the matchups. But the team this season is completely different. The only returning goaltender is Matt Tompkins. We had the 3 goalie rotation last season of Delia, Lankinen, and Tommy. But now we have him, we have Tom Aubrun, Cale Morris, and Scott Darling. Scott Darling.
Scotty.
That's the one.
Wow.
Were you as surprised as I was when you saw that on Twitter?
Oh, yeah. I thought I was dreaming. Like, what the fuck?
I thought somebody was just making up rumors when they said, Scott Darling has signed with the IceHogs on a PTO.
PTO.
It's like...
He's failed PTOs before. Do you think he's going to stick?
I don't know. I think a lot of it depends on if these other 2 guys are fit to play.
Yeah.
he might get a couple of games and then be released. Maybe he sticks around as sort of like a mentor for the younger guys, which would be great for them.
Right.
And if he does get released from the PTO, maybe he signs on as a different role in the organization. They already have the goalie coach in Peter Aubrey.
Yeah.
But you could do like a player development role, kind of like what Brian Campbell was for the defenseman.
Yeah.
I think that would be great because Scotty's from around here. He obviously loves the organization and he's been through a lot in his career, so he would be a great mentor for the young guys.
That experience, though.
Yeah. But he played well in that exhibition game from all that we heard.
Only allowed one, right?
Yep. He faced, I want to say 17 or 18 shots. I don't recall exactly how many. I was really bummed that they weren't streaming the game. It was only on the radio. So I listened to it, but you don't get the same...
It's a different experience.
Yeah, you don't get to see what the chances actually look like and how the team performs.
And that's important.
It is. It is, especially with a team that's very unknown.
Right.
So I went over the goaltenders. The defensemen that we have 2 guys that are returning from last season with Chad Chris and Dmitry Osipov.
Wasn't Regula also?
Regula played in juniors last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had him because we got him in the trade for Brendan Perlini with Detroit. So he was in the system, but he was playing in junior.
Gotcha.
And then we have another returning guy, just not from last season, but Cody Franzen is back.
I missed him.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him again.
Me too. That was also a big shock.
Yes.
Maybe less of a shock than Scott Darling, but still a shock nonetheless.
100%, yeah.
I miss the defensive pairing of Franzen and Sveti.
Svedberg.
Yep.
Long D.
2 very tall guys.
Tall.
Let's see, Cody Franzen is 6'5", and Sved was what, 6'7"?
6'7" or 8.
Yeah. This is a very
very
tall defense pairing. But we have...
Wait, was he 6'9"? I have to look this up now.
I don't know. Look it up. We have some new guys. Anton Lindholm on defense came over in that trade from Colorado where we sent Brandon Saad and Dennis Gilbert to the Avalanche and got Nikita Zadorov back and Anton Lindholm. When I was doing the preview of the training camp roster, I was trying real hard to find highlights from this guy. And there's just not much to see. He doesn't get a whole lot of points. Yeah. So I'm hoping he's somewhat responsible in his own end, more of like a defensive defenseman. Because he sure doesn't seem like a two-way defenseman or an offensive guy. So we'll see, I guess.
He's 6'8".
6'8", Sveti?
Yep.
Jesus. That's a very tall human. That's a very tall human. And even newer guys, we have 2 of the Blackhawks 2020 draft picks with Isaac Phillips and Michael Krudel. They're both on amateur tryouts. So we'll see if they stick around. I hope they do.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see. It's always good to watch your prospects and see how they develop, especially since most of the junior seasons aren't going on right now. They'll probably stick around at least until those seasons start back up, if they do. If not, maybe they stay full-time, maybe they don't. Krudel might go back to the Czech Republic. Who knows? And then the guy that I am most excited about is Cole Moberg.
Do we still have Osipov?
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
He signed... Let's see, did he sign during last season or did he sign when the season ended? I can't remember when he signed his extension.
I'm glad he's back too.
Me too. I didn't realize how young he was. He's 3 years younger than I am.
He was born in 96, so he's my brother's age. That's weird to think about.
That is very weird.
What if my brother was a goalie?
Interesting. But yeah, I am most excited about Cole Moberg because I was very excited about this kid at the Traverse City tournament in 2019. And he was a 7th round draft pick by Chicago in 2019. So if we can find like a diamond in the rough there in the 7th round, that would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Every time I saw him on the ice in that tournament, I was impressed. Yeah. So I'm very interested to see if he sticks around, because he's also on a PTO.
Okay.
So we'll see. But I hope he does. I want to watch his season and see how he progresses and see if I was once again correct about a prospect, because I would be very happy and would once again say, I told you so.
Oh, he was born in 2000.
Oh, he's a youngin'.
Baby.
Just a baby.
Just a baby.
And then the other guy, like you pointed out, Alec Regula, is also with the IceHogs this season. So that's exciting. From everything that I see as the scouting reports on this kid, he's supposed to be very good.
Yeah, I've been following that too.
Yeah, he's got an offensive side to him. I hear he's responsible in his own zone.
I'm excited.
Me too. Let's see. Last year, they have the stats from last season. He had 27 goals and 33 assists. Is that right? That's a lot for a defenseman.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
56 points.
Hot damn.
27 goals, 33 assists.
Yeah. 60 points.
60 points.
As a defenseman.
Oh, 56 games played.
Yeah. Granted, he did play for the London Knights. Very good team. But still.
Look at his penalty minutes.
55. Well then.
He's an aggressive one.
Yeah. If it comes out to even 5, he must have had a couple of fighting penalties in there. So I'm interested to see what his all-around game looks like once he hits the ice for the IceHogs.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Now that I see that they included last year's stats, let's see. Cole Moberg, 13 goals and 24 assists for 37 points. This kid is going to be a star. A 7th round draft pick is going to be a star.
Yep.
There have been a couple of them in the NHL. I want to say, let's see, what's his name? On Florida. He was with Pittsburgh for the longest time, and now he's on Florida. I'm going to have to look it up because it's going to drive me nuts. As soon as I see his name, I'm going to be like, duh. Patrick Hornquist. Jesus. I believe he was a 7th round draft pick. Yep. 7th round. In 2005 by the Nashville Predators.
All right.
And he has played 774 NHL games with 242 goals, 243 assists for 485 points. Right. So it's possible to get some good players there in the 7th round. I want to say Pecorine might have been a 7th round pick as well.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm going to put it down right now. Cole Moberg is going to be the Blackhawks diamond in the rough from the 7th round.
So excited.
I know, me too.
I miss hockey. Fuck.
I really wish we could watch the IceHogs at the BMO. I'm just glad we get to watch them at all, really.
Yeah. Trying to be grateful for what I have.
Sometimes it's just hard, okay?
Very, very.
Especially when it comes to hockey. I just want to go and watch the team play. But those are the goalies and the defenders. On to the forwards, where we have the most returning players. So the returning guys are Garrett Mitchell, Matthew Thompson, Dylan McLaughlin, Gabriel Gagne, John Quenneville, Mikhail Hakkarainen. I want to say he played a couple games. Yep, he played 8 games.
Yeah.
Tim Soderlin, Big Time Timmy Tim, is back.
Big Time Timmy Tim!
And I think that rounds out the returning forwards.
We have a guy named Chalupa?
It's pronounced Halupa.
Halupa.
Mate Halupa.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm sure there will be a lot of Chalupa
jokes.
Yes, absolutely. So the new guys are Evan Barrett, who was a 3rd round pick for the Blackhawks in 2017. Let's see here. Cam Morrison, who was a Colorado draft pick. I don't remember exactly how the Hawks ended up with him. Might have been a free agent signing. He was a 2nd round draft pick in 2016. Mitchell Fossier, who was undrafted, it appears, from this lineup sheet. Michael Tepley, who was a Chicago 4th round pick in 2019. He played for the Czech Republic at the World Juniors this season.
I knew that name was familiar.
Yes. Chris Wilkie, who was a Florida Panthers 6th round pick in 2015. Chad Yetman, who was... Oh, he was one of the Hawks picks in 2020. I totally forgot about that. He played for the Erie Otters. So we're taking a lot of guys out of Erie because that's where we got Alex DeBrincat and then trading for Dylan Strom.
Yeah, do you remember following him down there?
Yes.
Oh,
When he was just lighting it up.
lighting it up.
Yeah, this kid kind of followed along the same path. He had 43 goals last season for Erie.
Damn.
Yeah, so hopefully we just keep getting those tiny scoring guys.
Something good is happening in Erie.
Yeah, there's something in the water down there. I mean, Connor McDavid came from Erie.
Send them to Erie. Send the whole team.
Just go to Erie. And like you pointed out, Mate Halupa, who, let's see, he was an undrafted player. We signed him as a free agent out of the Czech Republic. Riley McKay, also an undrafted player. Brad Morrison, we got him in the trade that sent Oli Mata to the Kings, I believe, in the offseason. And he was a New York Rangers draft pick in 2015. I watched some highlight videos of him, and he seems like he has a pretty good scoring touch.
Morrison?
Yeah. Last season, he was in the ECHL, and he only had 6 goals, but he played 17 games. So I don't know what happened there, why he only played 17 games, but 6 goals, 13 assists, 19 points in 17 games, over a point per game.
Okay.
I'll take it. DJ Busdecker, he was an undrafted player, and Andre Altibarmakian was a Chicago...
Say that one more time?
Altibarmakian?
Okay.
He was a third-round pick of the Blackhawks in 2017, and he's been pretty hyped coming out of Russia, so I'm excited that he's finally over here, and we get to see him play.
Penalty minutes, too.
39. Huh.
Who is that that had 93?
93.
McKay?
Riley McKay. Oh, yeah, he was a fighter.
Oh, shit.
I was watching some of his highlights, too, and they all appeared to be fighting highlights.
Uh-huh.
I'm working on the forward article for IceHogs training camp, and I'm pretty sure the video of his I had to include was a fight because I couldn't find any scoring ones. They were all fights. So we've got a little scrappy guy in Riley McKay, which will be fun to watch. Always like having those guys.
What is this line? There's no person there. Where it says reading?
Oh, Garrett Mitchell played with them last season.
Oh, and he had 106 penalty minutes?
Holy shit.
Holy Lord.
Okay, Mitchell.
God damn.
In only 40 games. My goodness. Whew. He got into some trouble down there. I'm assuming there were some 10-minute misconducts.
I would think so.
Yeah. So in 40 games with Reading, he had 106, and then he came and played 15 games with Rockford and only had 9.
Alrighty.
I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows what's going on?
Who knows? Not I.
Not I.
But I'm very interested in this team. It's a mixture of like super young guys with the super old guys.
Yeah.
You have Franzen, and then you have Scott Darling.
Uh-huh.
And then there's only a couple that are in the middle, but it's going to be a very interesting season.
Right.
That I will say. Especially if we go with the unproven goaltenders and Darling isn't one of our mainstays in net. It's going to be even more interesting. I am excited to watch Cale Morris, despite him having that poor outing against the Wolves. But again, it was his first pro game, and the team is very new. And that was their first game action together. So, and plus, the Chicago Wolves this season are a good old mixture of the Charlotte Checkers, because their new affiliate is the Carolina Hurricanes, and the fucking Milwaukee Admirals.
Ugh, not the Blue Boys.
Yep. So we get the two-headed monster of just the Chicago Wolves, but now they are smashed together with the Milwaukee Admirals, because the Admirals are not playing this season, so Nashville reached out to the Wolves and said, hey, can we have a 1-year partnership and send our guys up to you?
I don't like it.
Nope. Nope. They have Kazimir Kaskisuo in net.
Oh, no.
Yep. They also have a goaltender with the last name of Warm.
Warm?
Yep, like W-A-R-M. Warm. And I really hope he makes the team, just because I feel like there's a lot of jokes hidden in there that I want to take advantage of.
You can't have Warm guy on ice.
Right? And they also have brothers with the last name of Cotton. I feel like we could make something out of that. I just haven't fully fleshed that out yet. So it'll be interesting. I wanted to do a preview of the Wolves roster, but when everybody else was releasing their training camp rosters, Chicago just didn't. And I'm sure it was just so I couldn't do anything with it.
Right. That's exactly it.
Because everybody else was releasing them. I think there was one other team in the Central Division who didn't as well. Maybe it was Grand Rapids. But Iowa did. The IceHogs clearly did because we're staring at it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that is the team for this year. And we also just signed Madison Bowie.
Okay.
So that's a thing that happened. He's a defenseman. He's not super great. So I'm pretty sure they just signed him for expansion draft reasons.
Yeah.
But
because that's
knows?
After this year,
That's
right?
after this year.
Shit.
Yeah, so we'll have that funness to talk about in the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the schedule for the IceHogs this year, which is very weird. So the IceHogs play the Cleveland Monsters 4 times, all in February.
Okay.
They play the Iowa Wild the most times out of any team at 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They play Grand Rapids and Chicago both 8 times. Wow. And those are the only 4 teams we face this season.
Oh my god, that's so...
It's even more intra-divisional than usual because they're trying to cut down on the travel and everything for COVID. But I mean, since Chicago and Milwaukee are smashed together, that takes away one opponent. But just seeing 4 teams all season long,
that's gonna get boring.
Yeah, and we're just gonna.
You remember how many times we played fucking Milwaukee?
Last season?
Yeah.
Milwaukee and Chicago? What was it, like 12 times?
At least.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
You're just like, I don't want to see these guys again.
I don't want to see them.
I want to see against somebody else.
Yes. Give us some Eastern teams or some of the Western teams.
Something.
It makes sense this season because of COVID, but with how the AHL schedule is usually laid out, it's just like, really? We have to see these guys again all season? And the season's only 4 months long, which is also very weird. The Hogs play 30 games, 15 home and 15 away. So, I don't know. And they're not planning on having a Calder Cup this year, as far as we've heard so far. I think Patrick Williams on Twitter has been talking about how they just want to get the season up and going first and then work toward having some sort of wrap-up of the season, whether that's some sort of tournament but not for the Calder Cup or what. But if you're not playing for anything, I don't know. It's just very weird to me.
Yeah, you're just playing to play.
Yeah, so it's...
I mean, they have to keep playing. Because they can't just sit there. Like, you have to have games. Because these players need development.
Yeah. So it's definitely good from a development standpoint.
Yes.
And with the IceHogs roster being super young and full of prospects, it's a great opportunity for them. But it seems like it would be hard for the players to really get into every game if they're not playing for anything.
For something,
You know?
Yeah.
Like, who cares if you finish first in the standings? Who cares if you finish last in the standings? So I'm interested to see the intensity of the games. At the end of the day, they're still athletes and they want to win.
Of course.
But when you don't have that incentive of a championship or a trophy...
It's hard to keep that motivation.
Yeah, especially when they play back-to-backs or whatever. Like, you could just kind of mail it in for the second half. So we'll see. At least there's no 3 in a row games this season.
3-3s are terrible.
They're exhausting just as a fan.
Right, just watching.
Especially when there's 2 home games, you know?
Yeah.
Usually one of them is away, but it's exhausting just for us. So I can only imagine what it's like for those guys actually playing out on the ice.
Absolutely not.
That's crazy, but we don't have any of those this year, so that's good.
We've got doubles, but...
Yeah, we've got quite a few back-to-backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Unless I missed one. 5, so 10 of our 30 games are back-to-back. That's a lot.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. At least they're playing at the BMO. Because some teams are playing at their practice facilities. Their practice facilities. I can't talk anymore.
What is our practice facility?
Do
we have one?
I guess if they were to use one, it would be Riverview.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they just use the BMO.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have no reason not to.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, every time they post on socials,
it's from BMO.
It's from the BMO, yeah.
I know the Wolves are playing from their practice facility in Hoffman Estates. I feel like one of the California teams is as well, maybe San Diego. I don't know if anybody out east is. And I don't know if the Canadian teams even released a schedule yet. So we'll see what happens there. It's definitely going to be interesting to follow. Especially with how many NHL teams have had to postpone games and whatnot due to COVID protocol and COVID positive tests. I wonder how the AHL is going to work. So that's the IceHogs. That's all we really have to say about the IceHogs so far since they haven't started up yet. But tonight, the Blackhawks take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. How you feeling about it?
Columbus versus Chicago?
Yep.
I want to believe in Chicago.
But do you?
That we can do this. But Columbus is real good. They're
currently first in the Central Division.
Yeah. They just keep winning.
But I wrote about this in my preview and now I'm spacing out on it. Let's see. Standings. Division.
Toronto's in first?
They are.
The fuck?
I know. All right. So the Central Division, the only two teams... Nope, there's three now with Detroit. So 3 teams have played 8 games, being Columbus, Chicago, and Detroit. Columbus is in first. Chicago is in 6th. Detroit is last.
Of course they are.
But the records for each team... So Columbus is 3-2-3. Chicago is 2-3-3. And
won twice?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it's rough. But Chicago has scored 22 goals this season. Columbus has only scored 21. Columbus has allowed 24. Chicago's allowed 28. Wow. So over 8 games, their numbers really aren't all that different. Obviously, Columbus has allowed 4 fewer goals. That those 4 games to start the season for Chicago are still biting them in the ass, allowing 5 goals a game for 4 straight games. But you could also make the argument that the games against Detroit boosted their goals for numbers and aided in their goals against numbers. So it's really kind of hard to tell during this first month because of how weird the outcomes have been for Chicago. And because most teams just haven't played that many games due to games being postponed. Carolina's had a lot of postponed games. Florida has. Dallas has.
Yeah, they've only played 4.
Yep.
That's half as many games as we have.
Yep. So, I don't know. It's weird watching the standings this year because they're going to change after pretty much every game.
For sure.
But the Hawks definitely still suck. When it comes to points, Columbus has 9 and Chicago has 7. So they're only 1 win away from being tied for first, but they're in 6th.
That's weird.
Yeah. So if we had taken one of those games against Nashville that were very winnable,
we would
be tied for 2nd.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, looking at the standings is fine, and it tells you where the team is at, of course, but it definitely doesn't tell you the whole picture just because of all of that. But you would have to assume that Chicago would either be last or second to last if all of the teams had played the same amount of games, because Chicago and Detroit both have, and Detroit is last. So, I don't know. Maybe at the end of February we'll be able to look at the standings and have a bit clearer of a view where this team sits. But for now, not really. So I've mostly just been looking at the goal differential to see what teams are doing. And I don't know, Chicago and Columbus aren't all that different, so this is going to be interesting. It's going to be Kevin Lankinen and Joonas Korpisalo tonight, I believe.
Okay.
Because Merzlikins played last night against Florida, so we get them on the second half of a back-to-back. So we'll see how that works. You would hope that the more well-rested team would come out and be better. But this is Chicago we are talking about, so you don't really know. I don't know if I really have a prediction for it. They've given me no real reason to have faith in them so far this season. I could see it being a close game, but as for the result, it could really go either way.
I'm saying they're gonna win.
They're gonna win?
They got this.
What do you think the score is gonna be?
Oh, fuck. 3-2.
3-2?
Yeah.
All right. We will just go with that because I don't have a prediction on the outcome. I will just say it's going to be a close game, and a 3-2 score is definitely a close game.
Yeah.
Do you think they split the series, or are you predicting that they win both against Columbus?
Split it.
Split it? I'm going to say they split it too. I just don't know which one they're going to take and which one they're going to lose, but I'll say they split. It would be nice to see them win both games, but I don't see it happening.
No, I don't.
But hey, stranger things have happened. The only 2 games they have won so far have been at home, and they are at home for this series.
Okay.
So maybe they take both games again, and then they just really have to work on getting that road win.
Yeah.
Because...
Please win.
Yeah, having 2 home wins and 6 road losses is not good.
No, that hurts.
Yeah. But we knew this team wasn't going to be good. It just sucks watching them not be good.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's what we've got so far.
Speaking of not being good, what's Kane doing?
Nothing. And yet I want to say he's still our leading point scorer, which is
doesn't look good.
No. And that's just how obnoxious Patrick Kane is, because he's our top point getter.
Oh my god.
He's got 3 goals and 4 assists for 7 points in 8 games. Our second is Alex DeBrincat, which is sad because he's missed 2 games being on the COVID protocol list. But I don't know, man. That first game against Nashville for Kane, I don't even want to relive it. It was just so bad. The second game against Nashville, he looked a little better, a little more engaged. He actually got shots on goal, which he didn't even get a shot attempt in that first game. Oh, I can't go back to it.
Unacceptable.
If you want my full views on that game, go watch the video because I can't relive that game right now. But Kane has to be better, especially in the shootout that they had against Nashville in that last game. I don't know what his attempt was, but...
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable!
For the Hawks, the only 2 guys who have ever scored consistently in the shootout have been Taves and Kane, and Taves is out. So you need...
Is he on COVID protocol, or...?
No, he's got some mystery illness.
Mystery illness.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. So you need Kane to score if you don't have Taves in the lineup. The other 2 guys that took shots were Dominic Kubalik and Matthias Janmark. Clearly, none of the 3 scored. Kevin was great in the shootout. The 1 goal that went in was just a really good move by Matt Duchene, unfortunately. But Kane has to be better. That is where you need him to step up as the best player on the team and score in the friggin' shootout. That's basically...
your job.
Yeah. The shootout was basically made for Patrick Kane.
Exactly.
There is no reason for him not to score. And he had a penalty shot earlier in the season, and he flubbed that too. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. But he needs to step it up, especially if he is going to be wearing that A on his sweater. He needs to be better, because he's been one of the worst players on this team in only the way that Patrick Kane can be.
He looks like he doesn't care.
Yeah. He looks like he'd rather be anywhere else except on the ice. And that's just completely unacceptable. If the Hawks want to do anything this season, he needs to start playing better because there's only so much depth scoring that you can get.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, do you think he gets a goal tonight against Columbus?
Yeah, he's going to turn it on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to say he doesn't.
You're probably right.
He might get a goal during this series against Columbus, but if he does, it's going to be in that second game. I don't think it'll be tonight. And that means he is going to come out and get a hat trick tonight just to make me look fucking dumb.
Yep.
Because that is what Patrick Kane does. Every time I call about, he's like, oh, fuck you, I'm going to score. Because clearly we're just connected on brainwaves or something, since he can just turn it on whenever I say he's absolutely sucking and decides to score. Just like Dylan Secura used to do before we sent him over to Vegas. So... for Brandon Peary, who has played one game and has been on the taxi squad ever since. Oh, Chicago.
What a mess.
What a mess. That's the perfect place to end this podcast on, is the Blackhawks just being a mess. Hopefully we have something more happy to talk about before the next series, which is against the Carolina Hurricanes. The brand new affiliate of the Chicago Wolves.
I don't understand that. I'll never understand that.
Nope. They got rid of Charlotte in their same state to be affiliated with the Wolves. It will never make sense.
No.
But that's the next series, so we will talk to you guys before then.
What if they play Scotty against his old team?
He would have to be called up from the IceHogs. I don't think they're going to do that.
No, they won't.
He would be playing for his current team, which was once his old team, against his old team that he was with after the Hawks.
Yeah.
All right. Mental gymnastics. On that note, we will catch you all before that Carolina series. We will be in the studio, and you will be able to watch us speak if you so wish to do so on the YouTube channel. So with that being said, you can go and follow that YouTube channel. The link is going to be in the show notes for this episode, along with all of the social medias. You can also check out FromCenterIce.com. Bunch of stuff on there to look at. And that'll do it for this one. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
Thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button to catch more From Center Ice content. If you could, hit the like button on this video, maybe share it with a friend or two, and while you're here, check out the podcast playlist and catch up on some old episodes. We will catch y'all next time. Bye!